Hello and welcome back to part 11 of these Max 7219 series, and today we're covering fonts. So this is one way to create fonts, but I found it the easiest way to create fonts to use with the Parola library system. If you're using other libraries, there's ways to make fonts for those libraries, but because we're concentrating on Parola at the moment, we're using this. So this is the GitHub page up here, and if you open it, from my memory, it comes up blank. So let's pull in some data and get building some fonts. So in the last video, we had a font file attached, and I called that font file 3x7 straight. So I'm going to copy that, and then go back here, and I'm going to paste it in here. Now at the moment we're still blank. Once we've pasted in here, we need to import that data into the matrix. We're just going to press import, and you can see we've got some digits appearing. Now, as I mentioned in my past video, these letters are incorrect because they don't match my naming convention. I called these 3x7. Let's zoom in this screen. So I'm using Control and Plus because I'm on a Windows machine. Just makes the screen a bit bigger. So we've got that in, but let's cover the environment. So what's this telling you here? When you click on a box, let's click on 43. If you're just making the generic letters, numbers, symbols, it's telling you that you're doing number 43 and it should be a plus symbol. But you don't have to put a plus in there. You know, on other videos, I've made Space Invaders and things like that. So you can make anything you want. This is just a guidance system to help you do the basics. Previous and next just jumps you through the boxes. Now width, this is quite exciting. We are concentrating on an 8x8 matrix, but you can make them up to 24 in width, which is quite exciting. That's how I made some of the Space Invader ones. And then if you click down here in the double height box, you can make double width. So that's 24x16, but we're not covering that today. So let me go back to 8 and take off the double height, and we're back to normal. I'm going to click that to make that 8. So fit will be if we just draw something and say the way you do this, if you just click on the buttons, they light, and if you press fit, it will shrink it to the left and shrink it to the right to fit the box. And now we're seeing we're only 5 columns wide. If you want to add a column, you put one out there and you put fit, it would stay at 7. Save is, it would save which button we're in number 6. So if we say save, it appears in number 6. So then you can move on to the next one. So if you moved on to number 7 and did it, a little house, press save. Now say here, I press save and I didn't press fit. So it has saved that picture within an 8x8 square. Now, sometimes you may want that for correct justification of font, but normally you would want no space on the right, no space on the left even, no space on the right. So if I now press fit, you'll see the empty columns disappear. So what that means is if you make your fonts all the same width, when you're doing, like we're doing the clock, remember I said in one video in the standard Parola library, the number ones only filled up 3 columns, where the numbers greater than 1 had 5 columns, and I showed you the screen jumping. That was why. So it's always good to make them the same width. Now I want to delete these, so I'm going to go, we're on this one, 7. I'm going to press clear and save. number 6, clear. And if you don't save it, it won't save. So you have to click back on there, clear and save. Right, so let's look at a 0. So I've made it 3, and although it's only 5 high, I've named my fonts 3 by 7 because that's telling me to use the font and to have them correctly justified the way I'm using the software at the moment, or the Arduino code. I know that all my fonts are 3 by 7 high, and depending where you draw them, so I'm drawing this at line 7, they're all going to align. Because if I left it like that, then every time I displayed a 0, it would have 2 empty columns next to it. Then the software, because that's what I programmed, would add in a blank space, and then you would get the next digit. So it would make your justification of the display wrong. So that's why I've named these 3 by 7. So that's clearly wrong for the A's because they are 5 by 7. I wasn't sure why I did this, but I'm going to correct this today because this font file could be used to add in the AM and PM indicators onto the clock display. So this is wrong. So clear this. So I'm going to press clear, and then I'm going to make it 3 wide. And I know that I want my letter A, and this is a capital A, to always start on the top row. So we're going to start clicking on the buttons. And probably there. Now that looks like an A. I'm going to save it. And when it goes down here, you can see now that the A is looking the same size as the 0. So let's do the B. Going to clear it. Going to make it 3. Going to just start clicking. That's wrong. That's too low. That looks like an 8. So I'm going to take off the corners. And when it comes down here, it looks like a B. So if you don't like the look, you can make it look like an 8, but it will start looking confusing with the numbers. So C, clear, make it 3. I start on row 7. Come down to there, save, D, clear. What am I doing now? Which one's D? So it's going to look pretty much like the B, except for the line. E, clear. Anyway, I think you get the idea. It's actually quite easy. It's just a lot of button pressing. No, wrong. F, clear. Start here. Come down there. 1 there. Save. So now they all look the same. So they were the easy ones. So I'm going to have to zoom out the screen, but I can probably zoom it in the editing software. Go one bigger. So now they were the capitals. Now it's more difficult because you haven't got many characters to make it look nice. So 3. So how are we going to do the A? So we start here. We're going to go up there. We could either do that. What's that? No, I think it's got to be there. So that's 1 missing at the top. That's okay. When I export it, it puts the name in. Okay, you can see here it's put the name in. So sorry about that. So right click, copy, go back into Notepad. And I'm just going to delete all that. then paste in, and the name should be at the top. There, and then all I do is I save that on my hard drive in a font file wherever you're storing your Arduino stuff, and I name the text file F3x7 straight, just as a reminder of what's in that font file. So here we are. Here's my standard font that I'm storing them in a directory here, and I'm going to save this as a text file. So that's that one done. Now, in the other part of the file, we don't need that anymore. I had this one 4x7 straight, and I just can't remember what they look like without having running it on the clock. So copy them all. It's important to copy it all the way down here, including this little squiggle, otherwise it's not going to work. So copy, get rid of that. Paste. Import. So this is called 4x7, and
thank you.
The numbers are 4x7, and the letters aren't. They are 5x7. So they all need adjusting, like we just did. So it's the same procedure. So here we are. I've changed these fonts, and you can see that they are smaller. So even though we are on 7x4, the smaller characters don't make use of all the LEDs. Otherwise, you get no definition between a small character and a capital character. So we do need to make a P for both of them. So let me click on this one, box 18. Let me just zoom out again. So I need a P, so I am capital P by 4. Press the fix fit box to get rid of those, and then save. And that looks right. And then come down here and do the P. So start in here. Gonna go up to there. And press fit, save, and see what that looks like. P. That looks fine. So now I've got AM. Oh, I need an M as well, don't I? AM and PM. So here, click back on the 5. This is a capital. So this is going all the way to the top. And we are only 4 wide. So how are we going to do this? Like that? What does that look like? M. That's as best as we can get it, I suppose. No. Because we are only 4x7 M. We need a small M, so that's going to be difficult. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I need to press fit and save. So the W's, I think what I might have done, let me just see whether I make the M's. I didn't see on this one. Go back to M, I didn't press the fit button. So if I stored it, it would be 8 characters wide. So you need to press the fit. Now I wonder whether on the odd digits that I make it 5 wide. because then you can do that and it looks better. And I think for the odd character, that is not going to look bad. So let's did I press save, go back to this one, add a row, get rid of these. So I did it last time on the M. I came down here. Doesn't look too bad. Don't think if you do it. Looks a bit more flat. What have I done? Which I'm on? 109. That's changing there. So yeah, it looks too much like a capital M. That looks more rounded. Maybe one more there. Okay, I think that looks better as a small M. So on those, I've cheated that although it's a 4x7, an odd character is going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But generally, you get the idea. Otherwise, some letters just don't look like letters. So we've got AM, AM, PM, AM, PM. So that will now work. So we need font is 4x7. 4x7 tray, export, Control All, Control C, Control All, delete, Control V, and it should have the name at the top. Yes, file, save as. It's taking me back here. So I can click on that and make that then 4 by, I think there's a space there. No, 4x7 straight. And that's saved. So you can import your fonts then back in at any time from that. And look, I didn't name that font there, so we'll correct that in a minute. So let's just do Control All, Control Copy, Control V. Wow, that's a certain. Now we need to import. Whee, there we go. So yeah, that's how I made my Space Invaders. That's Space Invaders skull, the skull. So the Space Invaders, the legs move or the arms move. The skulls here, let's just zoom in a bit. The skulls here are winking and the nose or the mouth opens and closes. The legs are moving. Legs are moving. That bit's jumping up and down. This was trying to play with dots and make them look like they're spinning. This is a box that shrinks and grows. Same with a triangle. Happy smiley face. Just eyes and a mouth. This was the spooky eyes I was working on, but I've got better ones than that. This is a ball that's rotating. Music symbols, brackets. So yeah, I mean, I will do a GitHub repository for these. So that's those ones. Now let me now put a name in here. Space Invader. So I can export that. Let me just zoom out again. And that will put the name in there. Control copy. Copy. This is the Space Invader file I had. Control V. File, save. And that should have Space Invaders written at the top. Yeah. And that's it. That's fun. So that's quite easy. So it's just a matter of playing around with the space that you've got. I don't think in here I've got any bigger ones. No, I didn't. These are all. That one's bigger. If you click on here, so he's 11. And that one's 11. So you click on the boxes, you can see what the animation is trying to do. Same with this one, because that's the legs moving. I think they were all running in sequence, so you get an idea. So that one, why is that one? That one must, so that is 9, 9 and 9. Then I did an 8, 8 and 8. So yeah, I hope you get the idea. So have a play around with this software. Here's the GitHub. It's very easy. It's just a matter of copying and pasting in your text files that you've made. If you find any files like this around floating on the internet, you can just paste them in here, and it's an easy way to have a look at all the fonts and then change them to however you like the look of them. So that's handy now, saying have some fun with fonts, make your clocks look pretty, and check out the GitHub repository. I'll try and do one there full of fonts, and you can have a play. So that's handy. Wishing you as ever good afternoon and happy coding.